The state of California has ruled 2 suspects in a murder case can indeed use county-purchased laptop computers in jail. Here the guys are. Prosecutors say these men are the masterminds behind the 2008 murder of a 74-year-old man in a scheme to steal the retiree's fortune. Well, critics are saying the men shouldn't get personal computers because they routinely turn down access to computers in the jail library. The suspects claimed those computers had no CD drives, and they feared officers could improperly view their files. They say they need the laptops so they can defend themselves. Joining us now, criminal defense attorney David Wall and the trial attorney Seth Berenzweig. And Seth, the locals are like, look, our county employees can't get laptops. We can't afford it, yet we got to give these guys laptops with the knowledge that one of them is a computer expert, and they're worried a little something fishy's going on.
Exactly, and this is an example of sometimes how unpopular decisions are needed to keep the alleged bad guys from getting off the hook. I understand people being upset and thinking, well, what are you going to give these guys a trip to Disneyland next? It just seems ridiculous. The bottom line is that you want to make sure that you head off any potential appeal, and to the extent that they're going to try to argue that they're being kept from any kind of exculpatory evidence or they're not given an opportunity to defend themselves, then you're going to make it harder for them to defend themselves, and you're going to tighten down the appeal so that if they are going to get convicted and then get nailed in this case, they're not going to be able to find some kind of a loophole to get out of it.
David, they want computers, and they're like, look, we need to be able to access stuff.
Yeah, you know, I just got off the phone with the prosecutor in this case, Shep. She is outraged. She has appealed this decision. The bottom line is Garcia, who you showed on that full screen, he was the intel expert in this murder plot. He basically got a hold of the bank accounts and mortgage information of this victim before he was killed. So she's convinced that this computer will be delivered to his cell or an adjacent cell. He'll be able to use that Wi-Fi mechanism, which has been disabled but not removed, to access the internet. Also, Shep, the last time the judge did this, it was with Joseph Duncan, a convicted mass murderer. He was given a $2,800 Apple Mac laptop computer at taxpayer expense. Now, I got to tell you, Riverside County employees don't get these things. Riverside County inmates do. There is a great deal of outrage, as you might imagine.
Why can't you just, and I don't know how this system works exactly, but Seth, I just wonder why you can't say, you're entitled to representation. Here's a public defender. If you don't have the means, we will provide it for you. Here's the public defender. Now move along. Have a nice day.
Well, he's entitled to get that. But he's also entitled to get other basic procedural protections. Look, I believe this guy is as guilty as anybody else does. And
well, it doesn't matter whether he's guilty or not. It's about what's fair and what's right. Now, should every inmate be able to get a computer from Mac, $2,500 to prepare himself or whatever the heck?
If the financial information is relevant in the case and it's necessary to head off any kind of a potentially frivolous appeal, then give him that computer. This computer has no internet access. This computer is only going to give him a limited disk. The prosecutor can control the disk. It's not uncommon in litigation to swap this kind of a disk. And if he commits some kind of a fraud, then you use it to fry him in the prosecution. That can be used against him.
David, all of a sudden that sounds perfectly reasonable now, doesn't it? He's like, he's not connected to the internet. He has a limited disk on there. He needs to have information together. This is financial stuff. Why shouldn't the man be given this along the way?
Here's the deal, Shep. Both these guys were given computers set aside directly for them in the jailhouse law library. They rejected it. They said, you know, Judge, actually, we'd like laptops up in our cells. That would be much more convenient for us. And they're really concerned that this one guy who's an intel expert is going to be able to, you know, wangle this computer somehow so he'll be able to get internet access. Wangle, finagle, or whatever you want to say.
I like the word. Go on.
But but the judge is ignoring that, and he's done it before, Shep. These type of computers can be adjusted if the Wi-Fi is not disabled to access internet. Also, the prosecutor is very concerned that files may be altered by these guys. In other words, a police report on disk that says the defendant confessed can be changed to defendant didn't confess. I mean, this guy's got a lot of knowledge, and this type of stuff presents a grave problem for the prosecutor. That's why they've appealed it.
Well, prosecutors appeal anything. It makes their thing a little more difficult. But the truth is, the judges said yes. We'll find out if that actually goes through. David and Seth, thank you both. We appreciate